Hello, and welcome back everyone to Star Wars Empire at War. Today we're going to be looking inwards once again and trying to sort out a couple problems which we noticed in the previous video, which is lack of defences on a lot of our planets, unfortunately. And of course, the lack of free population capacity. As you can see, we have 10 free population up here. The first thing to do with that is we do have a few ships we just don't use, namely these Lucrehulk core destroyers, which will free us up a tiny bit and actually give us some money to play around with at the start here as we sell these off. I believe we have some in this fleet as well. You have the one there. I just never use them. I don't feel that they're useful at all. We'll keep this one actually over Geonosis because that's a pocket we want to keep protecting where possible. I think that's about it really, but of course the best way to increase your population capacity is by taking enemy systems, of course. So where are we going to be focusing today if we do want to do such? Well, we're going to be focusing Deko Nemoidia, and I think we're going to start pushing up Bestine, Devon and Juro. Why are we doing that? Because Mygeeto Nemoidia is locked off from the rest of our systems, and that's a very useful planet because it has this tactical droid factory down here, which has been passively producing some tactical droids, which are very minor commanders, which come with their own units. As we can see here, this tactical droid does have an AAT squad and provides tier 3 command to land, which is very useful indeed. And we have a unique tactical droid presenting a Lucrehulk control warship, which is very interesting. That acts as a massive fleet tender, as well as a battle station, as the Lucrehulks often are. So this is one main reason we want to protect Mygeeto Nemoidia, because of those tactical droids coming out there. It's something we can't produce actively ourselves otherwise. So we're going to produce some probe droids to just scout ahead to make sure we can take these fights on as quickly as possible. And I want really to raid a few enemy worlds, I think, so that we can stop the enemy producing quite so many ships themselves. I think we want really to move a fleet up to Mutilis Dantooine, so that we can control those later on and just protect that area a little more, because that's more cut off once again, and these few planets will be providing a good amount of income as well. This looks like a big fleet over here, but really it's just a few frigates and such, which won't be able to stand up to any sort of invasion, unfortunately. So I think we're going to bring this particular fleet over there. If we press play finally, we're going to come in with this particular ship first, and we'll go blind over to quarter 6. Should be fine over there with no clear defences and such. Let's have a look. Yeah, just that. So let's go through here. And this really is just the one ship over here, so there's not going to be a problem whatsoever. Just the Lucrehulk should be able to take this on, but we'll just present it with some more backup here. This will be the most inconsequential fight. So we'll take this cinematically. Look at that. Do love the fact that we do have some Lucrehulks out now, because they're such a staple of a CIS fleet, I find. But that's one enemy shipyard raided. That will stop them producing anything over at quarter 6. We're going to move instantly up to Wayland, and we actually do have an enemy fleet coming for Scipio, so we're not going to make this in time, unfortunately. I think we'll be losing that, which is rather sad to say the least. We do have our probe droids up there. Let's take these out for a spin. Did we not make any more? That's rather silly of me. Make some more down here for Bestine and Devon. And we do have this attack on Wayland. Well, after that battle, we're just moving back on, well, progressing up, where are we, to Ethor over here, and then we'll be able to reinforce Scipio. That won't be in time to stop the invasion, but that will be a counter-attack I'm pretty sure we'll be able to take on there. So, what have we paused here for? We can see an enemy, I believe this is the Praetor battle cruiser over here, and lone over there with only the dreadnaught shipyard by the looks of things. We do have to watch out for shots from the hypervelocity gun. Unfortunately, that's not really something we can control. We could try and go down with the stealth units, really. Is this Commando actually classed as a stealth unit? Doesn't appear so, which is rather a shame because it is a commando squad, which I think really commandos should be stealth units if you ask me. But that's just that's just me. We're going to go in for that then, but we do have this attack on Scipio to do first, and we're going a whirlwind start to the episode here. But I don't hold high hopes with this massive fleet here with a lot of acclimators and frigates and such, as well as 3 Victory Star Destroyers there. Well, and we should really, of course, brought in our reinforcements from Mygeeto. They would have certainly helped out here, but not to worry, not to worry. What we can do is just pull up to the support of our Omni and bring, of course, our fighters and bombers up as hard as we can. Bring the fighters up to the front, but we'll bring our bombers to a side. And what we'll do is we'll just control command our bombers so that we have those a little easier. And control command some fighters as well. So that we can, micromanage those just a little better, of course. Bring our carriers actually a little further back here. Come over here. Bring this carrier back. Such. Bring up our point defense from the diamonds. So, massive enemy fleets here, and we're going to want to watch out, I think, really for the pelters here, so that we can remove the supporting Arquitons and such as well, because they're going to be quite the threat, and they're going to be providing a lot of point defense against our Techno-Union hard cell ships over here, which do fire and rely on their missiles, of course, as do these interceptor frigates. So we're going to go straight in with our fighters and just try and tie up the enemy bombers and such while we're going with our own bombers where possible. If we just get all of those up and go for the starting acclimator. In fact, we'll just start over, bring some pressure, get rid of their shields, I think, for our incoming bombers, and then go straight onto the enemy bombers here. Just get rid of those as quickly as possible. And that should do that, but we're going to have to, I think, focus over here. The Auxilia can go for the Terrain Corvette over here. Just make sure we're getting through onto these bombers over here with our tri-droids there. Come back, give them support. And our bombers are done with that acclimator. Let's push back over here if we can. Looks like we're stuck in a massive dogfight there. Bring our... Oh, there we go, lovely stuff. Let's try and focus this down. Let's get some sort of abilities going to really hammer the enemy there. This ship is actually rather isolated, so our missiles will be doing fairly well there. Yeah, enemy space station. Yeah, of course the space station's damaged. But we're going to have to get on over here. The Omni doesn't really do too much, but we'll try and go for this Arctons where possible. Just want to reduce the amount of enemy acclimators, so when we do counter-attack they have less fighters and bombers to worry about, of course. Can we get rid of that? No, let's actually get over here for this. Get a full salvo out there. We have downed that one acclimator, so they brought us some more victories. Love to see it, of course. I'm sure you do. I certainly don't. This is rather messy indeed. We're getting rid of this PDF though, which is excellent. Well, this dreadnaught. And that will go down shortly. So you can see the power of mass frigates and such. It's just keeping them alive because they are, of course, so squishy. Even with the support of the Omni, which has now gone down. So I think we're just going to ignore the enemy fighters and such now and just try and get as many acclimators as we can now. There's only probably going to be the one more. So we've got to put up some sort of fight, haven't we? Some sort of fight would be nice. I think we'd be hindered by the Arquitons and such here though. So let's move over and get a full salvo out onto this acclimator where possible. You can see we're being focused very hard over here. Hit points going down very quickly. Yeah, that is very sad indeed. So I think that's it for us. Did get a few ships. That is going to be it. So, that's goodbye for us. Yeah, we lost a lot of stuff there. But on the bright side, we get sorting out our population capacity problems. We did remove 3 acclimators and a dreadnaught, so that would be something for the future. We were looking at Grievous and getting this Praetor, though, weren't we? And that is something I really want to get on top of. We do have this Battle at Ethor, though, to deal with first, and we've jumped straight on over here. Do we actually think we'll manage to do that? We do have that Lucrehulk, which will be carrying us hard, I think. So long as that tanks most of the shots, we should be okay, I think, with our masses of bombers and such. So we're going to skip over the previous battle. We're just running through to Scipio, and we're going to go straight for this Praetor. And as you can see, for all intents and purposes, this is a superstar destroyer. So we have, of course, Grievous's capital over here, ideal for taking that on. And it should be soaking up some hypervelocity cannon shots there as well. So we're going to bring in a few fighters, bombers of course, but we will of course want to bring in something to deal some good damage. So we'll sit back with our munificence there, and we will come in with some, I think, providences as well for more fighters, bombers and power of course. And just use the last few points on our Kazantes there. So, we have of course the massive ion cannons from Grievous over here to deal with this. We're pulling back just so that we can let our fighters and bombers come out where possible. And we do see the high velocity cannon going for Grievous, doing not a lot of damage at all. And of course we do have the garrisons to worry about as well. So this is going to be not as easy as expected, but still shouldn't be the worst battle we've seen. I'm just coming out there, we see the ion cannon coming out there to really hammer those shields. We're going to go for the turbo lasers where possible, I think. Don't want to keep going up though, do we? Let's stop there, that should be fine for range. Yeah, that is absolutely brilliant. Where are the fighters coming? Absolutely great. We need to just stop moving there where possible. Get a full salvo out here, so we do hammer these guns here. We're not coming in with just about everything though. We do have some bombers. Let's go for the Arctons there where possible. Actually, I think we'll start dealing with that. So we're going to lose this munificence over here, unfortunately. Let's try and deal with the enemy escorts, I think, and get rid of these bombers here. Probably pushed up a little too much with these providences. But we are slowly getting rid of the enemy there. Let's go for these quad turbo lasers. Get Grievous to focus some more hard points as well. Dealing with the Arctons there, excellent. So that will help with our bombers and such. Let's go for that Ventress if that's the case then. Get rid of these frigates where possible as well. We're starting to lose the fighter bomber game here, which is not something we should be seeing as a CIS. We can bring in, I think, some more of those then. We're going to start losing these providences, unfortunately, because of all of these guns this Praetor does have. Rather nasty indeed. But we are slowly whittling it down. We start targeting these hard points very specifically, that will help us out a lot. So yeah, ripping them apart one by one with Grievous's massive amount of guns here. We should have brought out some more fighters by now over here. Give them some attack orders over here to protect. We have lost another munificence, so we're going to come in with one more at the back there. Focus, I think, these acclimators with that. Pull back over here with this Providence. Get on the support side there. Get rid of these quad turbo lasers as well again. The last thing we want to see here is a retreat, because I don't think we'll be able to deal with the engines quite quick enough, unfortunately. But Grievous is holding up. Haven't seen too many hypervelocity cannon shots out. We've dealt with the acclimators, and we're very close to dealing with this Praetor, and that's absolutely brilliant. Just a few hard points left there, and we'll certainly have that down. Grievous is certainly carrying the day for us here. Let's just get rid of that Arctons, and it is absolutely down. Our job here is done. We just need to deal with the remaining forces over here, which is the space stations. That's absolutely brilliant. We're going to push in with our bombers and fighters then. We now finally have superiority. And we're going to give some attack move orders over here, of course. We can't bring in any more reinforcements, unfortunately. Here comes the high velocity cannon shots, going for Grievous. So I don't think that'll be too much of a problem now, of course. And that is a job well done over here. We are moving into Scipio now to try and counter-attack there. I think that'll be very 50-50 on the balance there. That's going to be tougher than we expect, even with the minor enemy losses we did incur previously. And there we go. I think 2 munificence for a Praetor is a very fair trade there indeed. I can absolutely live with that. Unfortunately, we can't just sit on top of that. We do need to bring in some ground units there to support. And this is the problem here, where we do have so many planets locked up by enemy choke points. We need to take Kashyyyk and Umbara, really, so we can bring in our reinforcements from up here, I think. But on Onderon, we can produce some, do actually have enough units to take Deko Nemoidia, I would say. They're starting to bring out some sort of garrisons here, but I think we should be okay. Maybe not, actually. We don't quite have the anti-vehicle there, unfortunately, which is rather a shame. We can produce things if needed, but at least that Praetor's done. But now we do have the defense of Scipio, and this is going to be a make or break battle here. So, how are we going to do this? We're certainly going to bring in the Lucrehawk to absorb any fire here. We bring it just about here so it can use the majority of its guns to try focusing the Victory and the Acclamator here. We're certainly going to bring in our hero to boost its power there. And we're going to bring in some more damaging ships over here, of course. And we do certainly want some fighters and bombers out, don't we? Because the enemy's going to have a lot of those themselves. So bring back our own carriers here. We want a massive amount of fighters and bombers there. We want to bring in some more damaging ships over here. So bring in 2 destroyers. We certainly want some frigates of our own. So we'll bring up some diamonds to produce some point defense. And we will, I think, I'm not entirely sure our missile frigates and such are going to do too much. So I think we're going to bring in some Munifexes for their ion cannons to deal with enemy corvettes and such. But that is pretty much what we can bring in now. So come with the Gazantes as well, and that should be okay as a start. We are absolutely going to start losing ships though in this battle very quickly. So let's press play. And there you go, instantly out with the firepower there. Let's try and focus down this Victory where possible. Thank you very much. Get our Munifexes, or Munificence rather, onto that Acclamator. Deal with that Victory as quickly as possible. The enemy does seem to be quicker at bringing out their fighters than we are for some strange reason, but not to worry. We will get them out eventually. We will have superiority. We need to get on top of these massive amounts of bombers though over here. Let's do an attack move over here. Get our own bombers out and start going for enemy Acclamators. You can see they're already retreating because we have dealt with so many of the Acclamators already. Let's focus on engines where possible then. Engines please. Come on. Get rid of some frigates. No time for that. So we did get rid of quite a few Acclamators, if you ask me, there very, very quickly. Let's have a look at the exact results. Absolutely brilliant there. A Victory, a few Acclamators and some frigates. Very, very nice indeed. And that's a decent defense of Scipio, if you ask me. So that, of course, has once again highlighted some problems over here. What do we actually have on Scipio? We actually have 2 heavy factories here. We might want to... I think the question here is actually take Mutilants and Dantooine where possible, really. So we're going to produce some spies here and see what we need to do. Let's come back down to Grievous and see what we can do over here. What do we actually need to take Caesar, or Deko Nemoidia rather? We can of course bring in some reinforcements from Caesar Nemoidia. But it's mostly infantry, so we do need something really hard anti-tank. So we get some dwarf spiders out. Not quite as hard anti-tank as I'd like. This produces droidicas, not the greatest really. I don't often use droidicas. I do have turbo lasers, and they will do better against vehicles. So I think really mass infantry once again is the way to go. So go for B2s and some dwarf spiders where possible, I think. They will go down quickly, but they will pack a punch and they'll do the job, I think. And of course we will have the support of bombardments and such, remember. Let's spy over here. We have Scipio. They brought in their ground troops. Oh, Obi-Wan, you've made a very minor mistake there. Look at that. This is what you love to see. Absolutely dream of this battle. Unfortunately, I don't think we have anything capable of dropping interdiction mines, which is a problem because that will mean these people will be retreating as quickly as possible. In fact, we're probably better off auto-resolving that because they won't get the retreat. We won't be losing anything. Yeah, I think we're better off with auto-resolve there. We didn't get Obi-Wan, but we did get a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. A lot of this infantry here. I might want to chase that down, to be honest. Where is this? Clara. It's going to be a mistake to let that go, isn't it? It's going to be a massive mistake to let that go. I think we'll send the probe droid down to Clara and we'll let that decide for us in a second. Let's come back down here though. Spy on Bestine. Do we not spy on Deverin? Must just be nothing really there. Oh, okay, that's interesting. That's very, very interesting. That's very, very interesting indeed. Bestine does have a hypervelocity cannon, but there is of course the shipyard over here. What do we actually get out here? We could try a very daring move actually. Get clone troopers out of the barracks, of course, and we do get some AT-RTs, bark speeders. Do get a few command points along the way though. This could be very, very spicy indeed. Very, very spicy indeed. Both Durge and Asajj Ventress are stealth units. We'll think about that. We'll just go and probe droid down to Clara. Make sure we're done building over here because Deko Nemoidia rather is the gem there. Do have a fleet forming over there now. That's very interesting indeed. It's very interesting indeed. What do we have at Clara? Nothing really, so there's not any pointing over that just now. Mission log updated. Get a couple barracks and we get some Corpus Alliance artillery is not too bad. Just build them anywhere, not to worry. Certainly think about that. But I think we will try and go for Bestine as it is. Very, very daring indeed. Get rid of that hypervelocity cannon at least. That's going for Mygeeto. Oh, bloody going for of course, from Munilints. Yeah, can't really... Oh, they retreated over there? Okay. That's an interesting retreat path. Would have thought they'd go directly to Kilara. That is interesting indeed. We're going to have to deal with that. We'll auto-resolve, I think, through that one. Got rid of an Arctons, and we'll go straight on over here to counter. Probably could have brought these around as well to reinforce us actually, but didn't see exactly that to begin with. Not to worry, let's go straight in. And we've beaten this fleet once, I'm sure we can certainly do it again. Let's just make sure we get some good commands out to begin with. Focus where we can. The larger ships over here, ripping apart the acclimators there, ripping apart the victory. Let's go for their own support then. Let's make sure our munificents are going out there. Yeah, absolutely ripping us apart. Let's try and get this pelter where we can to help out our bombers when they do come in. Excellent stuff. They're doing very, very minimal damage. Can't penetrate our shields yet on the loophole, which is excellent. Once again, go over here, get our fighters up, get them at attack order out, and try and get the bombers. Where are our own bombers? Just coming in by the looks of things. Let's go for this acclimator over here. Thank you very much. There we go. Let's push up then with our own destroyers. We have enemies retreating once again. Let's try and go for some engines where possible, please. Just to focus that and make sure they do go down. Lovely. I didn't quite get that carrier there, which is rather sad. And there you go, very nice indeed. We'll whistle that down very quickly. Going to, it says Mygeeto there. It's got to be the previous message there, unfortunately. But I think what we'll do is we'll try and take Bestine, and we'll call it a day there. Actually, ooh, we're going to do this manually. We're doing this one manually this time. And of course, because we're on the defense, we can't just rush up to get the enemy. So we're going to bring in as quickly as possible to get some attack move orders out. Move quickly, please. Just get anything we can out right into the enemy landing ships here, because that's all they are. Just little landing ship escorts here, which is rather fun indeed. Get our bombers in straight away. Get our starfighters in straight away, because those are the ones that are going to do the heavy lifting. I wish we had some interdiction mines. I really wish we did. Is there really nothing here that has those available? We really don't, do we? It's very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. I think really, to my knowledge, it's just the DH Omnis on our side which do have those. You know, there we go. Certainly, this is why we're better off with the Auto Resolve when we're on the defense here, because they're just going to get away now. Not to worry though. We know they're likely going for Munilinst. I'm going to have to think about that later on, aren't we? Reinforce this fleet over here. And I think we'll try and take Bestine as we are now, at least get the hypervelocity cannon down. So, why is this attack possible? Well, largely because we can create a military field base over here. So to bring in Asajj Ventress, and as we capture command posts, we will be able to build more and more of these bases, thus producing more and more units. However, capture points and build plans will be essential to keep our heroes and such alive and to protect them. So we'll just capture this one, I think. Come back with some turrets. Move forward with these produced B2s. I believe this is actually just a refinery ahead, which was just a credit income there. It's just the fact that they produce so slowly, these field bases. Yeah, that's just a refinery. We're not going to do much with that, unfortunately. Let's move straight on down.
It's just you and me this time, little one. Already. Squad assignment accepted.
Now, we're going to be doing very well against enemy infantry, but once it gets to 80 RTs and TX-130 garrisons, we're going to be doing very, very badly, which is why I want to capture these build pads and turn them into anti-tank guns.
The more you fuel my anger.
Got anything out here? Nothing more just yet. We're going for these military field bases because they produce the most units, and we will get some dwarf spider droids to help us out. Come over here. And I think before we go to the next one, actually what we'll do is we'll send Durge over. The enemy's going over there. Can get him his jetpack to retreat quickly out of there where possible, I think. Do some hit and run with Asajj Ventress as well, I think. Want to capture the base over here as well, actually, because that'll provide even more units for us. Getting some dwarf spiders out finally. So the hypervelocity cannon's down here. That's our main objective. At least then we can come in with some space units for a true attack here. We do have some bark speeders coming out now. That's going to get down instantly. Okay, fair enough. We have force push. Isn't going to do too much here. Get rid of these. Very nice indeed. Get rid of that HCRC. Watch her health. Yeah, move back. How's Durge going to do against that? So he's largely an anti-infantry weapon himself. Move over here. Focus on the TX-130 while it's alone. Should be able to deal with that. The arm cannons will not be great against our shields, of course, or for our shields. Let's try and produce this hesitant local garrison for reinforcements. Sarge just soaking up fire there. Let's get her onto the Hulk droid there. There we go, lovely stuff, love to see it. Durge is doing okay, and we do now have this garrison here. Let's come over here, build another military field base. Actually, yeah, come on, let's capture that where possible. Force push here, get rid of that. Come down with some support, please. Build a field base there and support Asajj Ventress, thank you. Come down with everything we have. There we go. Lovely. Let's get rid of that back to healing station. And we'll want to make some of our own soon. So that we can, of course, heal up our heroes. They won't last forever. Use Force Push again there because it's off cooldown. Looks like we're being shot blocks there. Certainly worse things to have blocks. We need to build a field base here. And we'll come in, capture the base over here. Not entirely sure what that is just yet. And we'll come down here and capture this base as well en masse. Lovely stuff. We do have a mining facility down here by the looks of things. That will give us a nice credit bonus if we do in fact win. What have we got building over here? Another back healing station. Let's go straight on here then. What do we have here? It's mercenary outposts? Yeah, mercenary outfits. Excellent stuff for elite mercenary squads. Very nice indeed. Lovely, some elite mercenaries. And there we go. So we're very, very lucky here. This is very possible because the enemy has very, very limited walkers and tanks. They're only coming out as a passive garrison. Whereby we have two heroes here which can take on, of course, ooh, we have a TX-130 here. Deal with that. So our heroes are very specialised towards anti-infantry themselves. Okay, let's move up over here. I want to heal here. We do have some garrisons coming out here. Let's support our heroes. Very, very nice indeed. We'll capture this, of course. Build a factor healing station for ourselves. Support over here.
We're combat ready.
We'll push on up. I think with this group, actually, we might just consolidate and push up towards the enemy base over here. Take off cover so we can move correctly and do an attack move up to there. Fire and forget for that, I'm afraid. Let's get this ACRC. Build, when we can, another base there. Do have an anti-infantry gun there, unfortunately, so we'll get Asajj to disable that, because I believe that's what the force abilities do towards that. And of course, mass fire on that where possible. No, it's okay, so they've changed that for the mod, not to worry. But it's not doing much damage there to Asajj at all, which is not a problem there. We'll deal with that very quickly indeed. Very, very nice indeed. Go straight to this hypervelocity cannon, thank you very much. Looks like we're struggling with pathing over here. Deal with this tax collection agency, I believe, or the Senator's office, because, yeah, it's a tax collection there that's not producing... oh, come on, we're going to fire at this? We're going to fire at this? Please? There we go, lovely stuff. Not to worry about that anti-air gun there, that's not going to do anything for the enemy. Not going to hinder us at all. Get over here, deal with this. In fact, they do have a power generator there, interestingly. Go over here. Deal with the enemy there. Take cover, please. Get our dwarf spiders actually onto that, because they'll do more damage there. I'm doing down here. Removing the hypervelocity cannon. That's our primary objective done, but so I think we can certainly get a victory here. Probably going to lose this unit over here, so what we're going to do is just focus on the tax collection agency there, just to make sure that's down. That's one less building to deal with later on. And I don't think we need to heal up over here, so once again we're going to capture this command post, bring up the reinforcements, consolidate once again. Get rid of that, we need to sell that off, replace it with an anti-infantry gun. We actually did win this engagement, so we're just going to push on, just keep the pressure going. They're dispensable units, expendable. The only things we need to worry about are our two heroes, because unfortunately none of the units produced in this invasion for us will be permanent. So, I think we've got enough anyway, we don't need to construct this, really. Let's go for the barracks, of course. Actually, what we'll do is take off, take cover there, and we'll produce an anti-infantry gun here. That's an anti-tank gun there, not to worry, it's not going to hurt whatsoever. Very, very nice. I do have a TX-130 coming out, so just focus on that. Lovely stuff. And there you go. Easy. Easy game. Do you know, this is a tactic I used to use quite a lot as the Zang Consortium in the vanilla Forces of Corruption game, because all of the Zang Consortium heroes were stealth units, so you could just send all of those in on one planet and all of their heroes are completely overpowered, which made for very, very easy invasions where space battles were probably looking rather difficult. Not that those were ever the case as the Zang Consortium either. Very overpowered faction. But this will certainly get where are we? Yeah, Bestine for us. Excellent stuff. Probably need to get rid of these clones. Yeah, we need to get rid of those, but not to worry, we can certainly do that. We can certainly do that. We have the whole map under our control. We'll lose this unit over here. They are only B1s, but they are running, and that is absolutely brilliant. I think we will leave that episode here today, guys. We'll just consolidate and get basic structures up when we get to this strategic view there. And that's excellent. That's cleared the space for us as well. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. That's amazing. So we'll bring over our space forces, consolidate here, reinforce. And that's another lovely little pocket for us, actually, with the excellent trade connections there. That might have to be a trade world there where possible with the spaceports. But like I said, that is unfortunately all we have time for today, ladies and gentlemen. It's been quite the whirlwind episode, if you ask me. And we have dealt with the population problem whereby we have freed up some population from losing our own, of course, but also capturing planets here and there. And we have destroyed a Praetor as well, which is a very, very good spot. So for next episode, I think we'll certainly be focusing on Deko Nemoidia and getting this little pocket back as well. We did lose that previously, I believe. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please do leave some feedback in the comments section below. Always very useful to be reading that. But otherwise, I shall see you in the future. May all of your nights and days be auspicious. Goodbye.